Hey, yo, welcome back to the top. My name is Gearhart, and the game is Pokemon Battling. As you can see, it is another Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi Battle versus Christian. FeintAttacks. If you don't know who he is, you really need to check out his channel. The links will be in the description below. He's from across the pond. British accent and all. Cheerio. But, as you can see, I have the Hoopa Unbound team, that being Mienshao, Mega Altaria, Scizor, Gastrodon, Zapdos, and the aforementioned Hoopa Unbound. Now, if you can tell from his team, Mienshao really knocks out a lot of his Pokemon, 4 of them with stab. So, all I need to do is just to preserve that, and then we can possibly get the win. So we're going to go ahead and start this battle going up against Christian himself, as he's going to lead out with his waifu, that being the Mega Lopunny. And yeah, I can't blame him, not because it's feminine looking, but I just really like using fast fighting types. So other than that, he's gonna Mega Evolve, but probably because he thinks he can take a Mach Punch. But the idea was that I can just go for the Fake Out because I do outspeed a regular Lopunny. I can get off a Fake Out, get off some damage, and then I could switch out because now he's faster than me now that he Mega Evolved. So he's gonna go ahead and switch out, or at least I am going to switch out, my bad, into Crimson, not related to Seabed, and then take this Drain Punch, which I don't take it necessarily too well, because now I realized I forgot to put Roost on this Scizor yet again, which is very stupid. I don't know why I don't have Roost still on this Scizor, but that's just a break. So I do predict this switch, not necessarily into the Ferrothorn, because this U-turn's gonna hurt really bad. Well, it is going to hurt me with all the residual damage. That being the Iron Barbs and the Rocky Helmet, because that's going to actually put me below half, and that's really bad for a wall without reliable recovery like this Scizor. So now I'm going to go into Flappy to hopefully, maybe, threaten him out. And yes, I do in fact threaten out his Ferrothorn. As he goes into the Thundurus, I did go for the U-turn because I was going to hope that he would stay in, and then I can go into Zapdos, take a certain amount of damage if he went for the attack, and then I could go for Heat Waves. But I kind of messed up there going into Mienshao in the first place. But now this gives me a good option to go into the Hoopa Unbound, which actually one of his hands is blocking Thundurus' face, which I found amusing. But he goes for the Volt Switch, and that's good for me because look at this. Look how little that does. Assault Vest. Hoopa Unbound took a Volt Switch from a Thundurus Therian. That's amazing. But the one thing that I'm going to find out is that Hyperspace Fury looks sick. It really does. But I am amazed when I find out that that doesn't do as much as I thought to this Weavile. Weavile has paper-thin defenses, so what am I supposed to do? Or what am I supposed to think? But I do have to switch out because I also have paper-thin defenses, and I go out into my special wall, maybe predicting something not knockoff, which does way too much. So now my walls are basically pretty much gone. I go into my Scizor here, predicting the Ice move, predicting, no, he wouldn't go for knockoff twice. But guess what? He goes for knockoff twice. So that's going to knock out Crimson, unfortunately. So, but I look at it and I'm thinking, that's not that massive blow. I'm just going to have to pound my way with my offense. The Life Orb and the Rocky Helmet's going to bring it down to a point where I can bring in Flappy here, and then go ahead and threaten it out. And unfortunately, I didn't go for the U-turn here. I was considering it because he might wanted to keep it around, but I just couldn't risk not going for U-turn here because he was faster than me. That's why I did go for the Fake Out on the switch, and he brings in the Thundurus. But what he doesn't know is I have Rock Slide in the back of my pocket. I just whipped it out of my back pocket. I'm like, here, have some rocks. And then I threw rocks at its face. At high velocity, I should add. So down goes the Thundurus Therian, just right quick. And then only then, he brings in this Mega Lopunny. I mean, I guess we all have our own waifus, so at least everybody. Some people do, at least. But I do switch into the Gastrodon to sack it off, because I really can't do anything. There's nothing to take it anymore. My defensive Pokemon aren't looking good, especially with this Mega Lopunny here. I have no reliable recovery on my physical wall. It ain't good, but now I have a free switch into my choice Scarf Falzar, which basically screams that I have a, this is Scarf, so I'm going to do double switch, predicting the Gastrodon, predicting that he would block my Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, and I get him on that switch into Gastrodon. Now I can set up with my Mega Altaria, my You Can't See Me with the 5-knuckle shuffle in the Super Slam. But the fact that I see him stay in, that immediately tells me that he has Toxic. So even after I Cotton Guard here, he's going to Toxic me, which is going to put me on a timer, which is kind of unfortunate. Right as I see him stay in, I was like, well, he's got Toxic, so there's nothing I can do about that. So that's pretty much what happens. So now I'm on a timer, and now I go for the Hyper Voice, and that does so much damage, oh my word. So if I can just knock this thing out, I can do a lot more damage, and I can just deal with it that way. I can just get this wall out of the way so then I can Volt Switch all over the place with a Zapdos. That is the major plan right there. Unfortunately, he's actually going to switch out, and one move I do not have is Flamethrower. I don't know why I have Moonblast and Hyper Voice on this one. I bred it way back in January or something, back when I was a Numbskull, so I don't know. So the thing here is, I didn't want to go into Hoopa Unbound to take a Volt Switch, and then he could bring in my Weavile or Mega Lopunny to take me out. So I was hoping that he would go for Volt Switch there. He didn't, and that's just a 50-50 right there. So I could have switched into Hoopa Unbound there. It's just not going to work well. So I bring in Mienshao here, and then he switches out into Gastrodon as I go for the Drain Punch. Of course, that's going to bring him down to about enough range where a U-turn can knock it out. Now, the idea here is to go into, or to go for the U-turn here, to go into Zapdos, so then he can bring in Weavile or Lopunny, so then I can finish them off, so then I just don't have to worry about it. So then they're forced to use a weaker move, i.e. either Fake Out or the, whatever it's called, Ice Shard. That's the idea. I do bring out Falzar, which is a reference to Cooper Kashira, because that's what he nicknamed his Zapdos, or Zapdosai. I don't even know the plural of that, but he brings in the Weavile. Wish I had Rocks up, because it would have been done here, but unfortunately that's not what's going to happen. So he knows it's Choice Scarf, and he goes to the Ice Shower, which does over half. I kind of expected that amount, but what I forgot about is that he has the Life Orb, which means I'm unable to Volt Switch out of here to avoid being faked out by the Lopunny, which now puts me in a hole because he brings out Lopunny, which means I need to get out of here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and sack off Hoopa Unbound. Unfortunately, I can't really get away from this Mega Lopunny, even though, because I have no Roost. That's just what's going to happen. So I'm surprisingly going to take this Fake Out. Maybe I was overestimating, or at least underestimating his bulk, but he's going to switch out for some reason. I'm not sure why. You would have knocked me out of the frustration, but maybe he thought I was choiced or something. But I do go for the Psychic here, hoping that he would maybe stay in and then just like use something slower, but that's not what's going to happen. But what happens here is that this Hyperspace Fury isn't going to knock it out. I wasn't expecting it to knock it out. And with my Paper Bag defenses and lower defense due to Hyperspace Fury, this Gyro Ball is going to knock me out. Not that it's going to matter. I have no speed investment on that Hoopa anyway, so I might have lived that had I not gone for Hyperspace Fury. The world may never know. It's like a Tootsie Pop. How many licks does it take? But I'm going to bring in the Mienshao to knock out the Feral Thorn. That's going to lower my HP down to the Rocky Helmet and Iron Barbs once more, but that's not going to matter too bad because I do carry the Regenerator. Now here, if he goes into his Magnet Zone, it is Choice Scarf and he wins the game. But if he goes into his Mega Lopunny, which he does, that means the Magnet Zone is not Choice Scarf. And I'm basically trying to get into my Zapdos without getting any prior damage on it. Because if I go for the Fake Out, or if he goes for the Fake Out on my Zapdos, that's pretty much GG, no joke. Ribbo the Glow. The thing about that is, now I can go into Zapdos. No priority at all other than Quick Attack, which he hasn't revealed yet. But I am going to go ahead and go for the Heat Wave, which does a ton of damage, and I think I can knock it out. That does enough, I think. That does. And he goes for the Fire Punch, and I'm surprised. And I actually live with 8. It's going to be great. It's gonna be great. I can go for another heat wave. The only problem is he lives on 12 or something like that. I was very shocked about it, but that's how dice rolls work, I guess. I get low rolled, and then to kick sand in my face, it gets a crit. Unnecessary, I might add, but it's out of nowhere, so I have to mention that. But anyways, great game, Christian. And if you want to actually see more post-com videos rather than live videos, let me know. Either liking the video, like if this hits like 15 likes, honestly, then I'll just go post-com pretty much every day instead of live comming. I enjoy live comming, but if people don't like watching me live com rather than post-commentating it, then that's just how it is. But anyways, if you did like this video, crack the like button down below, because it's addicting. And I will see you next time. We are losers today. We can be winners tomorrow, but it all depends if that's how we do it. I hope so, though. Go down to the Landorus. That was the stupidest thing you could have done, because it's a hidden power ice. What are you thinking? I think I carry air slash. We're gonna take a sun boosted flamethrower, and I don't think you're gonna like it very much.